What's up, guys? I'm DinoDude11, and in today's video I'm back in Prehistoric Kingdom. Now, as you can see, this is a speed build. But what I am building is one of the biggest projects I have ever done, and this is a full scale park in the game. I want to make it like as realistic as possible with that's my chair, with staff and like animal shelters. I just basically wanted to make it super realistic. So what I'm starting out with right here is the parking lot. Well, basically, guessed wood park. Obviously, there is no parking in game. So, yeah, I mean, there's no like actual guest parking in game. So basically, me just building this is for no reason at all, but for the aesthetic. Alright, so here I used BestInSlot, Jeep Wrangler for scale. I would highly recommend you go out and watch that video. It is an amazing video where he just builds the Jeep Wrangler. It is amazing. I'll put a link in the description where you can find and download that particular vehicle. Also, the map that I'm using was a completely flattened map, which I did not make. I'll also put down in the description who made it. So don't forget to check out the description. So what I'm doing right here is I'm building a sort of handicapped sign. I mean, yeah, it's basically a signal saying that only people that are handicapped can park here. So now, obviously, there's no handicapped people in the game at the moment, but it's just there as, a detail. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know how long I spent on this entire parking lot. It was a lot of time. Oops. I accidentally clicked something on my keyboard. This whole video, it's a 40-minute video. If you don't want to watch 40 minutes, you can speed it up on your end. I think on YouTube you can speed it up, right? But yeah, if you don't want to watch this entire video, you can watch it. You could speed it up or just skip through it. Now, this entire video without being sped up is about it's 3 hours and 50 minutes basically. Which is a long time. I didn't do it all at once. I don't have the time for that. But yeah. In the next, by the way, I'm not even like building an exhibit in this episode. If you can't tell already, this is not scripted. But yeah, I'm not building an exhibit in this episode, so yeah, take that as you will. I will build one in the next episode, which should be coming out soon though. So here I'm making the actual sign saying that this is handicap parking. It's just these little details that, not a lot of people would actually make these details, but I just wanted to. By the way, I'm not even that good of a builder in this game. Like, my stuff is really basic. I would highly suggest you go watch someone else on YouTube playing this game, because they are a lot better than me at building this sort of stuff. Like, if you just search up Prehistoric Kingdom build, you can find some amazing stuff across YouTube. It's amazing. Now, I saved this entire park about like a bunch of times basically. I don't even know how many times. But in the end, I decided I would stick with 2 saves. That way, if one of them gets deleted or messed up, I will have a backup. And like I said, I used BestInSlot's Jurassic Park Jeep Wrangler as for scale. Okay, so what I'm doing right here is I'm just decorating the parking lot, making it look a bit better than what it looks like normally, because currently it's just the lines. So I added a bunch of these rocks, which actually takes a lot of time. It takes way more time than I would think. And these rocks, they don't even have a lot of variation. They're just like slightly different rotation, pretty much the same exact size. It's just, yeah. And then because this map was made on this flattened map was made on tropical, I used a lot of tropical foliage. So I use these elephant ears in the jungle floor, which is a really good material. I love the jungle floor. It looks amazing. Now for the trees, I did do a lot of variation because I felt like that's way more realistic than them all being exactly the same. And then yeah, I just copied it over to the other side, yeah. Now I ended up building 4 of these parking lots. I'm still doing this part, as you can see, but I actually ended up building 4 of these like parking lots. Yeah, here you can see me starting to build out the road to another one. Or to what will be another one, not another one yet, but to what will be another one. No, computer, do not turn off. Okay, so yeah, you just saw me copy it over to the other side. I built out a little road which will connect to the main highway. Now initially I was gonna do 2 parking lots, but I figured 4 was way more realistic. In fact, a real like theme park like this would have way more than just these. It would have a ton of parking area. You know, if you go to just a zoo, there is a lot of parking space. So realistically, there would be a lot more than what I have currently placed. But I don't really want to take the time to continuously add more and more and more. Okay, so you could see me starting to build out the road, like the actual highway. There's of course 2 areas. Now what I didn't realize is one lane is perfect, like one floor piece is perfect for a vehicle. So that means 2 floor pieces is good. Just you can have a completely straight one. So here you can see me building out the sign using the square shaped whatever it's called cube. And those shapes I would highly recommend, like whenever you're building, you should definitely use those. So this pause right here, it was me looking like what should the name of this park be, and I ended up going with a very basic name, that being the American Paleo Reserve. Now I do live in America, so that's what made the most sense. I mean, yeah, so that's what I did. So here you can see me placing out the letters. Then I selected them and placed them. Now that is the best way for anyone to do it. That's how you should do it. You should place the letters on the floor and then move them onto the sign that you're going to use. That way you can get the scale correct and all that. Dang, we're already 10 minutes in the video. I didn't even realize that. Okay, so I started building out another sign. This one just kind of pointing out where the parking is. And there I was just kind of experimenting. So I built an arrow. Visitor parking 04 is on the right, I believe, and 03 is on the left. And then up front, I put 01 and 02. Yeah, there you can see I just replaced it. Oh yeah, and I would highly recommend whenever you're building, you should definitely switch between angle snap and no angle snap a lot, because it'll angle snap will make a lot of building easier. But sometimes, obviously, you're gonna need to switch when you need more precise sort of size. I mean, not what? A more precise angle. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm saying. Okay, so yeah, here you can see I built out the parking. Now, I'll say it right now. This entire episode it's about 4,100 pieces placed down, which is insane. Like that's accounting for all the letters, floor pieces, trees. Well, not the trees I placed with the foliage brush, but just the normal trees. And the parking lot, that's all being taken into account when I say that this is like 4,100 pieces. So I put some forest around, obviously. And I really like the trees and foliage in PK. It looks amazing. So I'm definitely going to be using it a lot in my exhibits. Okay, so what I got to right now was just building the markers for the road. Now, this road is the road that would lead you into the sort of exhibit. You would come from the right side and you would be moving down. I don't know how to explain it. Basically, you'd start on the far side and you'd be driving the direction that the sign is facing. Yeah. The opposite. I don't even know what I'm saying. So those are the road markers. Then I saved it again, although this save does get scrapped, I think. Alright, so then I got on to adding a decoration, like a decorative entry point. I think this is where I start. This is close to the part where I start doing the actual entrance. Yeah, 14 minutes in and it's just been building the parking lot and the roads. Alright, so yeah, I was just placing these rocks forever, just trying to get them all the way around I mean, these rocks aren't even necessary. I don't know why I decided to put them down. They look nicer. I would definitely suggest when you're building to use a lot of rocks, because the rocks in the game, first off, look amazing. Second off, rocks are just naturally there, you know. Alright, so I'm just like turning the bend with the rocks. Almost finished with placing these initial rocks. Okay, then I used these topiary things. I think that's what they're called. I used these topiary set pieces to make a nice looking decorative area. Maybe I should add benches. Yeah, that just came upon me. Yeah, maybe I should add benches to this area where where guests can sit down if they need it. Well, maybe not, because this is still outside of the park technically. So maybe the guests don't get benches. Also, why would they need benches when they're right next to the cars? Anyway, that's getting off topic. So yeah, I just built this kind of square. It's not a square because it has the curves. So I don't know what you would call it. And then I did some minor sculpting. Maybe I should have... Actually, I think I did. I didn't tell you what I was thinking about. Now, this rock that I'm adding right here is one of my favorite rocks because it allows you to get, like, some smaller rocks. And yes, I did, in fact, add some difference in the terrain paint. So I was just adding a bunch of foliage, and then I added it to the same group as most of the other parking area. I don't know why there's a huge pause right here. So, yeah. And then what I did was I added a statue of every single dinosaur, basically all the statues that are available, right? A T-Rex, Mammoth, and Edmontosaurus. And then I added a nice waterfall. Because the water effects in this game, they're really nice. Oh yeah, you just saw that random skip. That's because one of the parts that I was recording did not record what I was trying to record. Basically, what I'm doing here is I'm adding the guest entrance. So I added some ticket booths. And then I got onto all this sort of stuff. Now, I think I actually like the way the guest entrance turned out. It looks really good, in my opinion. I'm one of those people that likes weird shapes. Well, to be fair, this isn't actually weird shapes. It's just a bunch of triangles with, like, next to some squares. I really like the way it turned out. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm basically building, well, it'll be seen later on. By the way, I was checking the park beauty a lot because I wanted to see what it, like, is the park beautiful. Okay, so what I started doing here was I was adding, like, some makeshift, well, yeah, I was adding some makeshift ticket booths, You can see tickets. Now, obviously, the ticket booths are in game. They're those things I placed on the right hand side, but I kind of wanted to add these that way it wasn't just a completely bland sort of area. And then I was messing around with the top just to make it look cool, make it look nice. And the glass in the game looks really good. So I would definitely suggest to you, if you have Prehistoric Kingdom, that you use a lot of glass in your builds. So then I built a huge welcome sign. I think I colored it green. Yeah. Welcome to the park. American Paleo Reserve. Oh my gosh. I need to remember to click. I mean, you probably don't know what I'm why I'm saying oh my gosh, but it doesn't even matter. And then I'm building the see you soon when you're leaving. So yeah, like that. Now this park, as long as I don't lose all the saves, it's gonna be ginormous. So I would imagine guests, they're gonna be here a long time. So then I started building these sort of walls because we don't just want anyone walking in. They've got to pay. I did end up scrapping this part. I mean, these initial walls. Yeah, you just saw me delete it. And I just went for this regular sort of concrete style. Now, my idea for these walls is that when we add a new species, we'll put the silhouette on the wall that is just leading you to the entrance. And I think that's a really good idea. I mean, if it's not, tell me. But yeah, for these walls, on the wall leading up to the actual entrance, there will be a bunch of dinosaur silhouettes, or animal silhouettes, because we're not only going to have dinosaurs in this Paleo Reserve, there's going to be mammals as well. So I actually have no idea what I'm doing right here. I'm just sort of bouncing around. Oh yeah. Here I started building this sort of staff check-in area. So basically the staff, they're going to go park somewhere else than everyone else. Obviously the staff don't park, but you get the idea. So here I'm writing staff check-in. Because obviously we don't just want to let anyone random in. Oh, I'm tired. Alright, so now what I started building was the sort of thing that blocks the way, so that other people can't just so you can't just drive in. Obviously you have to check in with a key code or key or something, and that would grant you access, and this would lift up. So yeah, I was adding these black bars. Now I think I'm not sure, and I was too lazy to check, but I think those are actually supposed to be diagonal, but I didn't make them diagonal. Now I did go back and change this slightly. You'll see it now in a couple of minutes where I go change it. So yeah, that is the staff check-in area. because obviously the staff, yeah, they're gonna go somewhere else. And then I built out the perimeter wall a little more, as you can see. Here's me again using BestInSlot's Jeep as reference. And then here I am writing out staff only beyond this point, because obviously we don't want non-staff getting in. Dang, I just realized that was very messy. But it's fine, no one's gonna care. Alright, so this is the final few minutes of the video. Here you can see, yep, I'm changing this thing just to make it more realistic, so I added that. Don't know how much that actually changes anything. I continued adding the wall around. This part was scrapped. I initially wanted to make, like, add additional foliage and stuff, but I just was like, nah, we're fine. Okay, so at this point, I finally got to the backstage area of the zoo, of the Paleo Reserve, which went through a lot of different phases. As you can see, me just sort of messing around with all of the stuff, trying to place it in the correct spots. Now, my goal basically was to make this staff backstage area, basically the staff can't escape and just wander around aimlessly. They can get out, obviously. They need to be able to get to the exhibits and stuff, but they were I don't know how to explain it. So here I'm building out the staff parking, because obviously the staff, they do need to park as well. They're going to bring in their own cars. I mean, unless they live really close. Yeah. So I copied over that. Maybe I should have chose to do some slightly different like decorations. I deleted the handicapped thing just because I don't think we'll be hiring any handicapped employees. Not anything against them, but I don't know if they're going to be able to walk into a Tyrannosaurus exhibit and get out there alive. Alright, so I added the loading bay. Sorry. And here you can see me just adjusting this. Oh yeah, I made it yellow. I made the staff parking area yellow. I don't know the exact reason behind that. Like, but I just did. So then I began building out the perimeter walls, where, yeah. So basically, other random people can't just walk in to the staff only area. Then I added a bunch of produce stations. Across the other episodes, I'll also be adding a bunch of just storage around the park and maybe some compost heaps, because I think we'll probably need more than just one in the entire park. Okay, so at this point that you're seeing right now, I finally began working. Well, nope, not yet. Oh yeah, here you can see I added sort of gate that it's not functional, obviously, but what it does is it just blocks the staff from walking out. I don't know why they would actually. I'll probably delete this now that I think about it when I jump back into this park. But yeah, so now 30 minutes in, I finally began working on some of the guests stuff. So I built a bathroom house, and then I blocked it off with some metal and some concrete. Maybe I should have made it look a little more inviting. And I also added a staff gate. That way staff, this is basically how staff would get into the park, from this gate right here. Well, it's actually 2 gates. Yeah, it's 2 gates. But yeah, gotta add the bathroom sign, obviously, so people know that that's a bathroom. It's not just a random place that you walk into. It's a bathroom. Don't forget that. And here I was just fixing up the walls so they were even. Okay, so here you can see me. I started to add the roof, which is, it's actually an uneven roof. I mean, you'll see here, I did this on purpose, but basically, yeah, you'll see. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, I also added a second bathroom, because obviously there's going to need to be more than one bathroom. And then I added a bunch of trees, because the building itself does not look that inviting, but if you decorate it up a little, it does look a little more inviting. Like, it looks at least like something that people could use, or something you would see in a park. I also kind of did this to increase the park beauty. Not that that really matters, but yeah. And then I built this staff walkway where staff can get into the park from the staff center. And I actually went through 3 keepers testing this. 3 cashiers testing this out. You'll see later. They are all fired, mainly because they get really uncomfortable if you just let them chill there. So like, I didn't fire them because I had a good reason to. I fired them because they were just like, it was not good for them to be chilling there when this park is not gonna have guests for like many hours, because like I said, we don't even have an exhibit yet. Oh yeah, I did a hatchery because we kind of need that. Okay, so from the from the bathroom, I added a, what's it called? A store. Yeah, a shopping center. Yeah, there we go. I got it. And yeah, there you can see that's one of the many staff that gets fired. So I built the walls. I added this door so the staff can get in nice and easily. Oh yeah, I actually ended up changing the design of this, and I also ended up not putting this gate that I'm trying to put down, because you can't actually put the facilities that close to each other. Oh yep, there's the second person that gets fired. Oh yeah, and here you can see me adding more foliage. And yeah, I use the jungle floor a lot, mainly because it looks amazing. It is really good, cool to use. I didn't use any like huge trees. The biggest trees I use are just palm trees, because it still, like, the trees can't be ginormous, or else it will not like feel, I don't know how to say it. And then I made a gifts sign. Oh yeah, here you can see me starting to redo the walls. So what I did was, yeah, I added the brick on the bottom, and I think I actually changed the material of the concrete to cinder block. Crowny gifts. Oh, yeah, there we go. I changed it to a different material, and then began work on the actual roof. Now this building is very basic. It's basically just there. And then I add more glass, because can't go wrong with glass. Alright, so here I finally began adding like lights, because this park will be open basically 24/7. I mean, it would be a cool feature where the time of day actually affects how many guests you get, but I feel like that's that's very detailed and does not need to be in game. Added some indoor lights. These are green. These are like very light whitish green. And I added them into there. And a very handy feature that they did add recently, that was my phone. A very handy feature they added recently was that you can keep lights on at all times. And yeah, here you can see me adding the lights to the parking lot. I will continue to add lights as long as they're like sort of necessary, because there does need to be a lot of lights when it comes to the streets. I mean, actually, there doesn't need to, because technically, the working car needs to have like headlights. So I probably won't add any to the actual streets, excluding like the parking areas. Now I will say, when you're placing a bunch of lights like this, it does kind of like reduce the performance. So I would suggest not keeping those on for too long. But I think that's pretty much all. I added a little more lights, and that was basically it for the video. So I hope you had a fun time watching this. It's a very long video, and stay tuned on the channel subscribe to the channel. Sorry. For the next episode, which should be releasing soon, I'll be building actual exhibit that time, cause that'll be good. But yeah, that's it for me. There's about 20 seconds left on this video, so see ya.